Welcome to the first episode of the Daily Dad Chronicles. I am one of your hosts. I am Cook. To my left, I have
Joe.
Evening, Joe. How are you?
I am doing well.
Great.
How are you?
Great. I am fantastic. Again, our first episode. We want to talk about the different side of the dad thing, not the co-parenting, not the getting along. We want to talk about the crazy schedules that we have with our kids in sports, schools, after school stuff. That's what we want to talk about. So for me, I have 3. One of them out of the house, has her own family. That's great. Unfortunately, I still have 2 more. Not unfortunately. I mean, you know what I mean. Next oldest, she's going to be 21 this year. So that's pretty huge, I think.
How old's the oldest?
Michelle's oldest is 34.
You guys are older than me, so that makes sense.
Yeah, we're a couple years older than you. And then my almost 21-year-old, that's with my first wife. Obviously, that didn't work out. But we still have a beautiful daughter out of it, and she's going to be 21 this year. The youngest, the one with the craziest schedule, that one, 14, thinks she's probably in her 20s.
At least.
Easily in her 20s. Amazing in school. Really good in school. I can't say anything about her school. Either honor roll or high honor roll constantly. She's in her sport, which is cheer. Joe knows all about cheer. He was in cheer a lot longer than I was.
It's been 8 years, maybe 9.
Okay, I want to say Shay is 5 or 6, if not a little bit longer.
It could be.
I would feel like G has been a lot longer than 8 years.
It's possible. I'm terrible with remembering anything.
All right. I mean, she's in cheer. She did get recruited to junior coach this year as a 14-year-old for the Littles. She's actually, at first she wasn't really excited about it, but now that she's done it and the Littles are like succeeding, going to bigger competitions, so now she gets to travel as a coach. So like with your travel with G, like yours was ridiculous. Mine was ridiculous with her competitions.
Still ridiculous.
Now she's going twice and to different ones because it's 2 different organizations. Like Shay's now just strictly in high school. And now she's coaching for Pop Warner. So yeah.
You got a long road ahead of you.
I still have a very long road ahead of me. At least, I'm guessing, probably 5 more years.
I'm hoping mine wants to coach so that I can continue to travel with them.
I mean, I don't mind, but, Disney's done. They're not going back to Disney.
No, they moved it.
Yeah.
It's in...
Which, that's okay. I mean...
North Carolina, South Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina, I think.
Raleigh, right?
I'll be honest, I'm not even really sure.
I think it's Raleigh.
But either way, like, yeah, we've been to Disney a couple of times. Been to SeaWorld a bunch of times. And that's great. But nothing for nothing. Once you've done it all. Something different would be great.
But it's still fun.
Oh, it's totally fun. I have a blast with the kids.
What about All-Star Cheer? Like my daughter.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Sure, shoot.
How much have you spent in just travel since she's been in All-Stars?
We're on year 3 right now. She has the potential to do another year as long as the dates align, date of births anyways.
Being too old now.
Yeah, so she's like their super senior of cheer. But she's eligible for another year. And she's only going to do it if her and her cousin can be on the same team, which it's looking like it's a possibility. And they've wanted to cheer together since they've both been at this gym. So we could potentially have another year. So, anyways, back to the money. We average, depending on where we go, and this is including everything, like the fees to be at the gym, the whole nine, travel, food, everything. We average anywhere from 12 to 15,000 a year.
So in the last 3 years of All Stars,
We're somewhere between,
that's on an average, that's 45 grand
well, yeah, on the high end.
on the high end.
On the high end,
All right, so 36 to 45,000.
yeah. But we've been to Disney, I think, 6 out of the last 8 years.
Right.
Blech.
But we've had some fantastic times.
We've had a lot of good times.
Right.
We've been in Disney together.
Sure.
Great time.
Yeah, 100%.
Great time. I enjoy going to Disney, but last year I kind of walked in there like, we're here again.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, my first time, it's like I was 12.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, what was our first time that we went? Probably, 4 years ago? Roughly?
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago. So I was in my 40s, had never been to Disney before. Had no idea what to expect other than it was going to be a constant cha-ching, which I was prepared for and I was okay with because I knew it. What I didn't realize is the extremes that it was. Like when we all went with Pop Warner.
That's just Pop Warner.
Right. That was just insane. So we were all in, like, all the All-Star resorts were full. Every single All-Star resort was full that weekend. We stayed in sports. And that was full of cheerleaders and football players. Music was full of cheerleaders and football players. All the All-Star resorts were just chock full of athletes. And I want to say the 3 or 4 teams that we sent, I don't remember because it was quite a while ago. It was a solid 100K that we sent for all the teams. So if we were one organization, and now again, I'm not trashing Disney because I've had great times there. Not trashing Disney. But
they're making bank.
They're making ridiculous money.
And they're in it because of that.
And not for nothing, like, you know, when we go, we have like the packages and, you know, we have all the transportation, the food packages and all of that stuff. And they're very accommodating to us when we're down there. So where was it? We went to that, I don't remember the name, but it was that barbecue place we took the boat to.
Oh, it's the campground in Disney.
It is, yeah. It's the name of it's slipping my head. So what we didn't have to pay for there, you make up in tips. Like, you have a couple $100 bill for husband, wife, 1 child, 2 child, maybe even the 3rd child. If you have all of those packages that you're not paying out to,
oh, it's worth it.
It's totally worth it.
That was before COVID.
But again, 100%. But if you're not paying for dinner and you don't tip your waitress good, one, that's crappy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, any kind of wait staff in Disney or on the outlying that's associated with Disney, if you do your job well, you are paid very, very well down there. And good for them. Because they deserve it. Because it's insane down there. When you're waiting hours and hours and hours to get into places, or you have to put off going to dinner because of your reservation.
That is a very difficult hurdle to overcome in Disney. Especially if you're doing that.
Is the waiting.
The waiting.
Yeah. Even to eat.
Yeah.
And that being my first time, I figured it was going to be crazy. I didn't realize it was going to be like that.
Yeah, but waiting in Disney I don't feel that the wait feels that long because there's so much happening around you.
That is true. And I will say about Disney that I'm a huge fan of is the attention to detail that their people put into everything down there.
Well, yeah, you're spending a ton of money.
No, I'm saying like they put up some. I'll use the word plastic. They put up some kind of prop.
Mm-hmm.
When it looks too real, but then you go over and you're like, "Holy crap! It's not real."
It's not, but you're so wrapped up in the moment, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. And that's
Dave,
one of the things that I love.
My first year there, I chased down the smell of a cinnamon bun and was pissed because I couldn't find it. I'm like, they're just putting stuff in the air so that it makes you hungry and you just eat whatever you can find. But I found it. It's at Gaston's Pub behind the castle. I think
I don't think I've ever ventured past the castle.
if you go directly behind the castle, I'm pretty sure that's where Gaston's Pub is. So the cinnamon bun is gigantic.
I really shouldn't even be talking about Disney.
Well, you don't want to go?
Oh, no, I want to go.
We're going in May. Let's go.
All right.
Let's take the podcast on the road.
Perfect. Let's go. One of the last times that we went down there, we had our hopper passes, and there was something that I wanted to do in Hollywood Studios on another day, which means I wasted the hopper pass to go somewhere else, and someone didn't get to go somewhere, and I have she hasn't forgotten it.
Where'd you want to go?
She wanted to go to Epcot. We've never been.
You've never been to Epcot?
Well, no, I've never been, but we've never been as a family collectively. She's been, back forever ago. I've never been, and the way she describes it, I'm totally okay with it. Like, there's not a lot of rides in there, if any.
I was going to say, once my kids do the rides that they want to do, it's like, hey, can we go to another park? But last year, my parents went with us. Me and my mother did a little eat and drink around the world.
Okay.
We didn't hit up every single one, but we hit up, I think maybe 4, 5 maybe. Got a small little, food item and a alcoholic beverage. And it was pretty fun. Pricey.
That would be what, I wouldn't mind, sampling some different things or maybe partaking myself.
It adds up quick.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah. But you're in Disney. Why even bother looking at the price? Just give them the plastic and move along.
At that point, just, deal with it at the end.
Yeah, when you come home, you figure out your finances and you go, all right.
I spent how much on what?
Yeah, kids, it's pasta for the next 7 days.
All right, so what about your other one?
The boy?
Yeah.
All right. So he's 15. He's a sophomore in high school. It took me a moment. He is a very active individual. He is a gym rat at 15 years old. I'm pretty sure he visits the gym at least once a day, which is good for him.
That's new. I haven't heard that one either.
He's bulked up tremendously.
I mean, but I really haven't seen him since early winter, so.
Tremendously. So.
Oh, no. Last time I seen James was New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. He's fully involved in the gym.
Good for him.
Absolutely loves it. Let's see. Still doing baseball. This will probably be it, though.
Why is he done with it?
Well, the high school teams are a little bit too political to our liking, which is, it is what it is.
I mean, teams are teams. You're not the first person that I've heard that has said that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's high school.
Even Little League was very political, and at times it kind of tears at you. You just want to see your kid play, and there's so much crap that comes in. It's not even worth your time. I look back now and it's like, you know, it is what it is. But he's still playing.
Yeah, I mean, let's
Babe
not get it
Ruth.
twisted. I don't want to see. How do I want to word this? I don't want to see any kid get left behind.
Yeah, no doubt.
But at the same time, they do need to play.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was told by some people that have crossed my path, that were pretty educated in baseball. And they said, usually around like 13, 14, you really know who can play ball
Sure.
and who can't. And my kid's still quite capable of playing ball. And he just wants to play, and that's the problem. They just don't let the kids play anymore.
So he got sick and wasn't able to play for a while, though, right?
Yeah, 4 years ago. Right? Yeah, right in the middle of COVID. He
was in what, like Babe Ruth or something?
No, he was still down at the Little League level. And he got sick, ran a high fever for like a whole week. They just said it was viral. Nothing. Testing negative for, COVID, flu. They tested him for everything. And by like day 7, he was still running a high fever. Took him to the pediatrician. They ran some more tests. They took a urine sample. His urine was like a dark amber beer.
Jeez.
So they said, all right, he's probably dehydrated. Take him to the hospital. We'll get him some fluids.
Get him on IVs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So put him in the car. We go to the hospital. Not really looking too deep into it. And they brought him into the ER. Got him a room. Hooked them all up. And his oxygen was like in the mid 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty low. So they started running some tests, and the attending on that night kind of said, like, I'm going to check for something that I think it might be, but I don't want to, like, get too deep into it until I have definite answers. So she came back, I don't know, maybe an hour later, and said, like all the boxes are checking off. I'm pretty sure your son has MIS-C, which is multi-inflammatory syndrome in children, which is a side effect from having COVID. So we were kind of like, how's that possible? He's just been testing negative like multiple times. And next thing you know, like, it's happening fast. We got different doctors are now coming down. Because originally they thought it was like appendicitis. Because his stomach was hurting. So they were running like enzyme levels in all of his major organs. Everything was starting to come back elevated. And when they finally diagnosed him with the MIS-C, I would say probably within the next hour, they took him upstairs to the pediatric intensive care. Now, at that time, I wasn't vaccinated. My wife, Julie, had, I think, like the very first shot, and they let her stay. So my wife and my son went up to the PICU, and I had to go home.
Wow.
With little to no knowledge of really what was happening.
So short of hearing it from, directly from the doctor's mouth, you had to get everything, phone call and text message secondhand.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it took me almost, I would say, close to an hour and a half to 2 hours just to leave the parking lot of the hospital.
Sure.
When I could collect myself and leave. And I think it was maybe a little bit after I got home, she called me and said they're running, all these tests. All of his liver was inflamed, kidneys, lungs, heart. The only thing it hadn't gotten to yet was his brain. So they, it's still kind of a blur, but I remember them calling me and telling me that there was some type of what was it called? It's called IVIG.
Okay.
There was like some like blood transfusion type deal. It was like a bag of antibodies from people that have had COVID.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
I've heard it. I've never really paid attention to what it was, though.
So they said, it's like the only thing that we've seen work, but there's a lot of risks involved. If his body accepts it, great. If his body rejects it, we'll know almost immediately. And they had every doctor for every part of the body in that room as they started to administer the IVIG. And as time passed, certain doctors would step out. So within the first 15 minutes was like the high pressure like time. And we made it past that. The body accepted it. So we had, I think we're down to like three doctors maybe. And
From how many, though? Because you just said...
God, there was probably, I think, like 8 to 10.
Oh, wow.
Maybe, somewhere around there, for everything. You had renal, you had, pulmonary, you had cardiologist, rheumatology was another one. Infectious disease was there, like a lot. And they said...
So at that point, they're basically doing, the best job that they can for them.
Correct.
But as soon as their box got checked off,
they left.
Okay.
Yep, which was good. You wanted,
sure.
You wanted
100%. You want as many boxes checked off as possible at that point.
Correct. So after a half hour, they were going to monitor him for the rest of the night, and they said, we'll see what he's like in the morning. So in the morning, I get a phone call, and it's both of them FaceTiming me, and it was like night and day. It wasn't even really 24 hours. His color was back. I think his fever was coming down. And he stayed in there, I think, 7 days. No, 4, 5, 7. I don't know. When we have our wives on, she'll correct me. But
I mean, they're going to correct us regardless.
That's correct. But yeah, that was a big step forward. And then,
so at that point, all the weight.
Some of the weight was lifted, but until he was, stepping foot through our door,
coming home,
100%.
Like, right,
nobody likes to go to the hospital. Nobody likes to see anybody in the hospital, and I think he was. 11 at the time. It just takes a toll. Nothing prepares you to see your child that vulnerable.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do to help them.
And then once he came home, though, he was still out of sports for a while.
He was out of sports for, I think, just about for over a year, I think. And he had cardiologist appointments. I think that at one point, it was every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. Then I went every month, every couple months.
Right.
Because he ended up getting myocarditis from everything that happened, which I guess is the sac around your heart is swollen or something along those lines.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. So he could do nothing, no activity whatsoever. So from a kid that's been active since...
Yeah, so he was playing T-ball, at 4 or 5 years old, and been involved in nothing but ball right up until he's 11, and now he can't.
Correct. It was all baseball all the time. So now, here we are. He is a wrecking ball. He's got more muscles on a 15-year-old that I've ever seen. And, yeah. Then we have my daughter.
Well, let's continue talking about the wrecking ball, about today's incident.
Oh, today's incident? All right. So he has one of those fancy e-bikes
Mm-hmm.
that he paid a lot of money for.
He paid for.
He paid for.
Because let's
Well,
not forget to talk about how
he
this
paid
kid
for-
started his own detailing business.
Yes, with the help of me.
Well, obviously with the help of you, but I mean, he started this at what, 13?
Yeah, I would say right around 13 he was helping me because I was doing a little bits on the side.
Right.
But, yeah, he is fully into it. His OCD gets the best of him sometimes because he spends a little bit too much time trying to get every spec out. But I can't say it's a bad thing. So, yeah, he does that in the summer when he's off from school.
But he knows his name's on the line too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, he knows it's on him. And he does a hell of a job.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of his work,
Mhm.
and
Does a hell of a job.
He does a heck of a job.
Yep. Yeah, so, between that and baseball, it keeps him pretty busy. And he's ready to hit it hard this summer. Went out and helped him get some more useful, friendly tools. Help him speed up the process a little bit
Okay.
so he doesn't have a bunch of stuff laying all over the place. But yeah, man, the kid's just always on the go. Always on the go. Makes you worry a little bit. Anyways, back to what happened today. That really expensive e-bike, he was riding through a local park that may or may not allow them. But they go there frequently. It's like one of their go-to spots. There's a whole group of them. What they do in the park, nobody knows. So,
I mean, they're 15-year-old boys out on their bicycles. I mean,
as long as they're not like, disturbing people that are quietly walking
sure.
or, spending time with their smaller kids on the playground and are off the beaten path doing what 15-year-old boys do on bikes, I don't see anything wrong with it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, we've all been there.
At least they're out.
They are out. He doesn't spend a lot of time inside at all.
Perfect.
In today's world, that is fantastic.
Oh, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. He has his times where he chills out, but he's not on it very long.
No, he's typically not. He's not stationary too long.
No, not at all. So yeah, they were riding through the park today, and the town Parks and Rec guy was there doing his duties, and guess wasn't feeling it, and decided to chase after my son. And from what my son told me, the guy ran into him with like a UTV.
Like a gator or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little John Deere action. And knocked my son off the bike, messed up his shoulder. Bike's got some scratches. It's only a couple weeks old.
Was it as bad as you thought?
Let's
take
when
it out
I
of
heard the initial
equation.
story, it sounded a lot worse.
All right. So the initial story was it was destroyed.
Yeah, it was all messed up.
Right.
I mean, the handlebars were like old school handlebars. Like you jerk it the wrong way and it kind of,
All right. It tweaked a little
your
bit.
wheels north, but your handlebars are east, like that kind of deal.
All right. So it spun in the neck a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, at the time, I react like I normally do, and
Blood pressure went up.
oh yeah, red in
Started
the face, sweating,
Yeah.
hot flashes,
F-bombs all over the place.
yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, yeah. So
Not that we're opposed to F-bombs, because neither one of us are.
I'm doing a hell of a job at refraining myself,
You are.
and I'm quite proud right now. So after the initial, hit, the guy proceeded to get out and hold the bike down so he couldn't get it up. So now my son freaks out and is starting to lose it, thinking that this guy's going to hurt him. Finally gets the guy to let go of the bike, takes off, goes down over a little path that the buggy can't fit down, calls my wife. Wife comes over, get in contact with me. I tell them to call the police. If that's truly what happened, let's fill out a report. At this point, at this point, my son is so worked up, I don't think that he's really BSing the situation.
Right.
So, and he had a friend with him, and the friend confirmed, most of it. He didn't see the actual altercation take place, but they were just cutting through the park. They weren't, we track everybody nowadays. So Life 360, at most they were doing like 13 miles an hour.
Okay.
Which in a park is, it is what it is.
I mean, that park's probably posted for 10 to 15 in a car.
Yeah.
So.
But they were coming over from the one side on the back side.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the park.
Sure.
Through that big open field. So they were just jetting straight across.
Okay.
All right, in the back there. So, anyways, cops come. I don't know. My wife called him. He went to the older gentleman first before they came to speak with my wife. And the older gentleman said that they just kind of turned into each other. Which,
Sounds weird.
it sounds a little suspect for me. I mean, for how irate my son said the guy was,
How irate was the son?
Oh, he was pretty worked up.
No, I mean
like
before.
Um,
Because let's be honest, we were 15 once, right? And
yeah,
we were doing nothing wrong.
never,
Like we weren't.
never.
weren't-
But every time that he talked about it, it was always the same.
Okay.
So nothing ever changed in his story.
Okay.
So that's why I'm pretty hard up to believe that this guy was trying to cover his
Scare him out, maybe.
behind. Yeah. I mean, you're not the police.
No.
So why are you chasing after kids in a vehicle like that? I mean, if anything, just flush them away like they're birds, Get them off the runway.
But at the same time, he was somewhere he shouldn't have been.
Correct.
And he FO'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
No.
there was any ill intent with them just cutting through. They just cut through so they don't have to go on the main road. Which
No, I get that.
that's cool. I understand that. And the cops there's no cameras that point in that way. Nobody saw it. There's no witnesses. So you just have one side against the other, which we all know how that goes. So, the best thing they said we could do is just file a complaint with the Parks and Rec and see how they want to handle it. Bike's still operational. Kid's shoulder's a little banged up. If it's not better, he's got to get checked. But the cop said if that's the case, then definitely, pursue it a little bit harder. So, cops seem pretty cool by what the wife told me, But they do have problems in the park with,
Yeah, I mean,
electric bikes and
it's
and,
a big.
and dirt bikes.
Oh, right
Actually
there, yeah.
motorized
I
in
mean,
the back because there's nothing back there.
When I was a kid, I mean, that was the place to ride the wheelers and the dirt bikes, and
Oh yeah, before the park was put in there.
yeah, way before the park
yeah.
was put in, when it was still wooded, still part of the farm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get that.
So yeah, that's how today went. But he's a good kid. He's got a heart of gold. Wears his heart on his sleeve like his mother.
Short of just being a 15-year-old pain.
And then we have my oldest, who's just like her dad.
Yeah, she doesn't people very well.
If we love you, we love you.
Right.
If we don't like you, we won't give you the time of day.
So the last time that I seen G,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't see me, but I seen her and Jules.
Yes, I heard about this.
So I went up and I shouldered her pretty rough.
Yeah.
She turned around and looked at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that there was any of the nurse that she's going to school to be. I'm pretty sure
Killed your soul with the eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took some points away. 100%.
It's my girl.
And I was like, no. I'm sorry.
It's me. It's me.
Right. And then when she realized that it was me,
Mm-hmm.
the eyes changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But
She was so pissed.
It was more like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get that look a lot.
All the time.
A lot.
Right. Well, but not just from her.
Yeah. For usually anybody we come in contact with.
But she's
especially the ones that know
as
us.
much of you as she is.
Yeah.
The you're an idiot look. Yeah, she definitely got that from her mother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the, you got to be kidding me look.
But not for nothing.
Or this is dumb.
She's a pretty good kid.
Great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid. Smart. She's been smart since she could talk.
With an attitude.
No, not so much as an attitude. She was really innocent. Now, well, yeah. Maybe up until like the age of 8. She was great. Still is.
What was great up until the age of 8.
She works her ass off.
She did. She's changed a lot since I first met your kids. And I've known your kids. Man, James was little.
Mm-hmm.
Did Gianna play softball?
No.
She didn't. All right. So it was always just James at the park then.
Yeah. She's only done cheer.
All right. So
Little gymnastics when she was
all right, maybe
lot
that's
younger.
what it was.
But
even still, like, she's changed drastically.
she's ready to take on the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that that's pretty fair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean she's 18 now. She's a freshman in college, going for nursing. She works at a like a little Tykes type gymnastics place.
Oh, really?
Yep. And she's also got a paid like internship for a local.
I haven't heard about the
doctor's office.
internship.
Yeah. So one of her past coaches is a manager for that department, and she applied, got the job. So during her off weeks and almost most of her free time, she works there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, making like $18 an hour.
I mean, that's
which is
gas
fantastic.
money.
Gas money. She just bought herself a new car at 18 years old.
Oh, I didn't know she bought a new car.
Yeah, her credit score is almost 700, Dave.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. Wild.
So
She has it together. She has her moments. She definitely has her moments. And I think that's where, like, we as parents kind of chime in and be like, hey, you're wearing yourself too thin. You need to dedicate what's important. Like, your work is your work. Like, and they understand you're still going to school. So, like, recently she's had a lot of papers due, a lot of tests coming up because it's like getting towards the end of the semester. So I was like, look, you need to just tell work, hey, I got to take a couple days and focus on my schoolwork. And she did that. And she's just kicking ass.
it was definitely weird when I had talked to her first couple of weeks of school.
Mm-hmm.
Like after graduation. And then we were with you guys somewhere. I don't even remember where, but hey G, how's school going? And she's like, not gonna lie, like I didn't expect half of this stuff. So for her to be taken back, and still be slaying it, like good for her.
There's a lot of freedom. A lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to check up on you. It's like, hey, why weren't you in class today? Or,
Right.
So, and initially, like, she still loves school. And when she first started, she met a lot of people she knew. She started going to her first parties. And even that has died off.
Well, that's
First couple parties on campus, cool, you know.
right.
And then she's like, I can't do this all the time. She's kind of like me. Like
She doesn't people.
she peoples with
Her people.
her people.
Which, again,
like
now-
she's not going to go out of her way to conversate with somebody like I would. I could talk to anyone
right. She could care less.
about anything. She could care less.
Right. And it's not even like we're saying she could care. She literally could care less.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, like, we always joke, like, you know, Shay and G are like, you know, oddly twins. And they are, because Shay doesn't people either unless they're her people.
And you know what?
If she doesn't want to open up and play the conversation game with someone that she doesn't know, she doesn't. I mean, she's respectful. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, my kids are same.
She's
100% respectful.
Totally respectful, but
I'm very old school with the respect thing.
yeah, we both are.
Yeah, like you know, I swear like a construction worker that I am.
Right. Truck driver that I used to be. 100%.
You know, I'm sure my kids swear. There's no doubt about it. You know.
Oh, we know
But
they do.
when they are home and around others, Lord help you if something comes out of your mouth. And they know that.
Oh, not mine. Not mine.
You know, growing up in a very, I don't want to say very Italian, but we're Italian.
Right.
You know, like there was no talking back. You didn't swear. You didn't join in adult conversations. Like you didn't even like attempt to go over to adults having a conversation unless you were like called upon.
See, that's where Shay and G are different.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you and I were having a conversation and she wanted to be involved, the doors, in her eyes, the door's open. Which is hysterical, because even if it was me and someone she didn't know, she's going to motion to me like, I need to talk to you. Or, come here, I don't want to be around these people. And I'm like, listen, go do something. I can't even tell you how many times I've told that kid, go do something, even if it's wrong.
Yeah.
I can't complain, man. I mean, she's on a roll, high on a roll, same as G.
Mm-hmm.
Junior coaching, she's at, in season. I mean, practice is what, 4 nights a week? Plus her other practice that she's in. Plus weekends if she picks up something else.
Yeah, I think she's got, I think it's 3 nights. She's on 2 different teams. Usually, I think they're like from 6 to 9, 7 to 9. 2 nights a week, and I think once on the weekends. Yeah, something like that.
And I have to give a lot of respect to Michelle, because with my job, my job's horrendous when it comes to time wise. Like, it's very difficult for me to commit to take her anywhere.
Yep.
And then with Michelle's job, yeah, she works at home. She has a little bit more freedom than I do when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because she could go and drop her off, and if I'm coming home late, then yeah, I can stop on the way and I can pick her up. So it does work out.
Yeah.
It's just really, really tough for me to commit. Like this weekend. This is her first coaching weekend.
Yep.
And this is the first time I'm missing anything.
Is that because you have to be by your phone and be available?
Because I said I would be.
Yep.
So I did make that commitment. Like that was me, and I made arrangements with somebody else. And that's fine. Like, I'm not complaining, but again, it's her team, but she was really only coaching these kids for like a month. While she was in her season. So then when her season ended and they asked her to junior coach, the kids already knew what was going on. But I do know that from her talking, she's definitely like opened right up to where she's really coaching.
That's good though.
Right.
It's good.
And yeah,
Shaping the future.
so I mean I give that kid like a lot of room. A lot. Cuz I don't have anything to complain about. So I figure, and maybe this is wrong.
You may eventually.
Right. Like maybe this is wrong, but I'm thinking maybe if I give her some room, she'll mess around a little bit and I'll actually have to do something.
There will come a time.
I'm sure there will. Boyfriend wise, for some reason, and I love this kid to death. I've known him for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's scared as hell of me. And I'm really not.
I don't know if Cheese is, but I love this kid.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
most recent one.
Yes.
I mean, she's 18. It's not like she's, 14 like Shay.
Yeah,
So-
she's 18.
Right.
But this kid is everything that, as a dad, you would hope he would be, even at their age.
So that's exactly
Like,
how.
the amount of respect that he has not only for her and us is incredible.
So that's exactly how Matthew is. So Matthew, they're both the same age. His mom or grandmother on Thursdays
Mm-hmm.
will take him to school, pick Shay up. So when they pull in the driveway, and I can show you this on the camera. When they pull in the driveway, he gets out of the back seat, opens the front door, takes her backpack, puts it in the front seat, shuts the door, holds the door for her to get in the back seat, and then waits for her to get settled. Then he sits in the car and shuts the door, and they drive away.
That's old school, homie.
Yeah,
That's old school.
like good for you, buddy.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah,
Gotta respect that. Yeah.
and they've been friends for a while, and then it was really official. What, a little over a year ago, like official. Maybe in the teenage years they made it official. I'm not really sure, but
Yeah.
I've just always said it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not going to say your friend. Like, he's a boy, you're a girl. It's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I'm a realist.
Yeah.
But he's like,
Call it like you see it.
yeah, he's super respectful. We get along great with mom. We've actually been on vacation with them. Went away on a camping trip with them.
We kind of have done the same, only because their younger daughter cheers at the same gym.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, parents, cool, calm, just like us.
Perfect.
Honest, no BS. Keep it real. So, yeah, that's how it is. But, yeah, we've talked about cheer a lot.
Talked about baseball.
Talked about baseball. Kind of talked about us.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if I talked much about me personally.
I mean, short of... No, neither one of us really did.
No. But, we got to keep it real.
That is true.
It's dad life.
It is dad life. And
Nowhere
these are the fun and trying times that we all go through.
100%, because nothing can prepare you for a lot of what comes across your plate.
No, like... We have friends with younger kids that are, like, just starting.
Dude, I chuckle.
Right.
I chuckle. Like, you have no idea
Right.
what's coming. And I still don't know what's coming.
I send messages to them and explain this is what you're looking forward to.
Yeah.
This is what's coming.
Dude, people, like, lose their breath when I tell them about our all-star cheer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, we go here, and there. Like, never did I think from the day one of Pop Warner when we had our meeting as parents And the coach is like, "Oh yeah, here's the layout of the season. Here's where we're gonna go." And it was all local, except for Trenton in
Right.
New Jersey.
Trenton was always a blast, though.
Trenton was fun, And then she's like, that's just that's regionals, and if you win at regionals, you go to Disney. She goes, the chances are very low, but there's always a possibility. Walked away from the meeting, left it at that. Didn't even think about Disney again. First season, guess what? Going to Disney.
Right. I think we were second season.
Yeah.
Something
And
like
at the time, I think I was like maybe a second-year apprentice. Wasn't making great money.
Right.
And the whole way home, we're like, we got to book flights. We got to pay for Disney. And it's all going to be paid within like 3 weeks of getting back.
Right. So let's talk about the prep for that.
The prep for
Disney.
For Disney?
Yeah. So let's talk about Trenton. So my experience with Trenton, the first time that we went to see the mouse.
Trenton, I had some.
So we had.
I showed a really fun side of Joe in some of the Trentons.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. So, like when you go to Trenton, it's a fun competition.
It is.
It's later in the year, so it is kind of cold while you're waiting outside, but that is what it is. Hotel, we always had a blast in, whether we stayed for one night, both nights, 3 nights, whatever it was. So the more experienced parents that we gravitated to were like, all right, listen, this year has been fantastic. All the girls are on point. Like, they're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what we need to figure out tonight is when we want to leave, start checking flights, start pricing flights, whatever else we want to do. All right. So we did that the first night in the hotel. Actually, no, I want to say we probably did it. We probably got together and had dinner or whatever and looked at flights, and we said, okay, so let's write down this flight number. We'll write down this flight number. Like, this is what's going to work for us. This is what's going to work for you guys. So the girls go and compete. And that day, they killed it. We're like, oh, man, yeah, it's a really big possibility. So awards start. So we all get on our phones, go to the app,
Been there.
get the flights put in, get the return flights put in, and get them in your cart. So now it comes to the division.
Mm-hmm.
And now you open the app back up, and you're literally sitting there with your credit card already put in,
Mm-hmm.
with your thumb an inch over the button to purchase, and they go to, I want to say they were up against like 7 teams, so I want to say they placed 1 through 3rd.
Yep.
So they call the 3rd place team out. We're like, okay. And they call the 2nd place team out. And now the 2nd place team that year, we thought destroyed us. We really did. We're like, oh, okay. And then we're like, what just happened? And then they call our name. And you don't even have time to scream yet. Because you're hitting the button on your phone. And then you're looking for, all right, it's been confirmed. And then the screen refreshes. And then you stand up and you scream.
Yes. We did that our 2nd year.
And it's just crazy how fast after that competition everything changes on those apps.
Yes.
It's insane.
Your planning changes drastically.
Yeah.
So, like, our first year, like, we didn't know, like, we weren't prepared by any means.
No, you really never are, as much as you think you are. You're really not.
I am now, because we've gone so often. But the first,
As a new parent.
as a new
Even
parent,
a second or third year parent.
dude, we walked in to the night where we had to pay, and we were like, "Can we put this on like 3 credit cards?" Because financially, we weren't ready,
Right.
and I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, we can't go." Like, you can't take that away.
No.
Absolutely not. So for me, it's like my kids going. We're all go. We go as an entire family.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody stays behind.
Right.
Grandparents have come for most of it. We've had other family come down. So it's been a hell of an experience. But you're never prepared.
No.
Not as a first timer.
No.
No.
No, it was scary.
Dave, it was the first time I was on a plane. Terrified.
Oh, really?
Terrified. Popped a little anxiety pill before I got on the plane. Didn't help. I listened to every sound, every noise.
So if that was your first time on an airplane.
Dave, I was listening to the speed of the engines. I'm like, why is it slowing down? Why is it speeding up? Why is it slowing down?
What happened the first time you felt turbulence?
I really thought we were going to die. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, we're going down. And now I had to plummet 30,000 feet. Like, I'm like, what am I going to think about? Like, just sheer panic. I was sweating. And that was the first time. We didn't really experience turbulence, really. A couple shakes. It was like, riding a car on a normal, crabby road.
Yeah, right after winter. Sure.
Right. I think it was the second or third year we were flying back in, and that was awful.
Our airport is always terrible.
Not always, though.
I don't know. I've never had like, oh, that was the best landing ever.
So after that, I was like, it got easier every time. I still get nervous.
She does. I don't.
Like, we just came back from Atlanta like a month ago for cheer. And that was when we had that really bad wind.
Yeah.
Bro. So anyway, all right, so let me tell you about the story about Atlanta. We got to the airport for TSA like 3 hours before our departure. We were in TSA for almost 3 hours.
Well, let's just talk about the simple fact that Atlanta Hartsfield is like the size of our town.
Yes. Massive.
Like when you go to an airport and you need to take trains.
So when we landed in Atlanta, we landed in Terminal D, the little subway slug that they have.
Yeah.
Packed like sardines. We walked the whole thing. Dude, it was like a 40-minute walk. Even with the little people mover things on the ground. Yeah.
I tried that because I got to the airport like stupid early one time going down there for work training.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's rough.
I got 3 hours.
It's rough.
I got nothing to do.
So we finally get through TSA on the way back. Luckily, our flight was delayed by like 12 minutes. We got to the gate with 10 minutes to spare. We had enough time to hit the restroom and get on the plane. And then coming home, we got to like Pennsylvania, and it was rough. Like rough. Dave, we were dropping, like swinging. Like, I'm not a roller coaster guy at all because of those drops. Like, I feel like I have no control in my body.
Sure.
Dave, there was one. It felt like we dropped like 300 feet and swung to the right. Just whoosh. I was like, I'm done. Dave,
you have to know how
how
hard I'm laughing on the inside right now. Right?
I took 2 pills before we got on the plane.
That's insane.
I did fall asleep halfway through the flight, though. So that was nice. But that was rough. And that's when all the air issues were going around.
Yeah.
And then
But there was some crazy winds.
And then the next day,
that
that plane flipped over in Canada. And I'm like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back.
I mean, that was a really, really, really freak accident.
So I think you should definitely get like, maybe I'll talk to her and be like, hey, you should do All-Star Cheer. You guys can come along.
No. No.
We've been to Baltimore. We've been to Washington, D.C. We've been to Atlanta twice. Been into Indianapolis.
She's actually openly stated that she doesn't want to do All-Stars.
Really?
Yeah, she's very, very, very happy in high school.
It's a whole nother beast. Like the expectations are a lot higher,
Right.
you know, but they want to see you succeed. And that gym is incredible.
Oh, yeah, everything that I've seen
Absolutely
that comes out
incredible.
of that is really good.
Obviously,
But yeah,
you're
no,
not going to be
she's-
happy every time. You're going to have your issues. I mean, you have, I don't know, anywhere from, say, 12 to almost 30 girls on a team. You're going to butt heads,
Sure.
right? And, you know, for the most part, they overcome it, makes them stronger, and they've surprised themselves.
So, let me tell you about cheer, or about starting with cheer. When she was little, like 5, 6 years old, bought a lacrosse stick. I was always a lacrosse person.
Trying to force the sport.
I did, and she loved it. Like, she loved the running around. She loved girls lacrosse. Really big fan. I was coaching, having a great time. The other parent coaches, really, really, really fun to work with. She comes to me before the start of the next season, goes, Dad, now she's little, like 6, 7 years old now. And she goes, she puts her hand on my shoulder, like real serious, as serious as a 7-year-old can be.
Yeah.
Dad, I think I want to try this cheer thing. I was devastated.
Crush you.
I was absolutely devastated.
Did you cry on your pillow that night?
I didn't. I was upset. And obviously, as a parent, I'm not going to tell her no.
Yeah.
So I said, if that's what you want to do, I said, what about lacrosse? She goes, well, I don't know if I can do both. Okay. I said, I'm not going to tell you that you can't try something. What I am going to tell you is that you start a season, you finish season.
Yep.
There's no quitting. Okay. I can do that. All right, great. So we go. And the first year that she was in, she was actually competitive in Trenton. Wasn't going to go anywhere. Or no, wasn't in Trenton. They were just, that was the first year that they were actually competitive in locals at her age level. Had a great year. Next year comes. She advanced in levels. We make it to Trenton again. And I want to say this was the year that we went to Disney. Nope. I lied again. They didn't make it that year. I think they were competitive, but they didn't make it that year. Right after knowing that they were competitive and how good they actually did, tears. Cried like a baby.
Yep. Same.
Just seeing like the team cohesion, and knowing what the practice mat looked like before they went out, and they go out and like very, very, very minimal mistakes. But when the other teams are, hitting zero, and that was the number one team, the number two team was like a fraction of a point, and then they were like a full point. Like, I started to respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
It's very cutthroat.
It's crazy how that changes.
A lot of people I talk to about cheer don't really know what it's all about.
No.
I'm like, compare it to like football or baseball. Like baseball, you have a next inning. Football, you got another quarter. I'm like, these girls have 2 minutes and 30 seconds
Right.
to do their absolute best
for a one-shot weekend.
for a one-shot weekend. Sometimes there's 2 days, but 2 minutes and 30 seconds to give it everything they got
Right.
and hope to hell that they succeed. That's it. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, done. Thank you.
Right. And to watch them, when they're littles and they're standing on, the girl's kneeling down and then the other girl goes up on her knee and she stands up. And then the next year they're actually going up
Yeah.
and then doing full pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually tossing for baskets. Like, it's just amazing to watch the progression of what these girls go through.
Yes. Like, gee.
Right.
Has a flying part this year. She gets put up into a prep.
Really?
Yes. Nervous as hell. First time. I'm like, please don't drop her. And she's only in a prep, so she's really not that far.
Right.
But
that's still out of her realm.
Completely. But she kills it.
Good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, never, ever did I think that I would be the cheer dad I am.
Oh, same.
Dave, I go absolutely bonkers when she hits that mat.
Yeah.
Screaming, losing my voice every time.
Oh, 100%.
Screaming.
I'm the first person she comes to. She doesn't go to her mother. She goes right to me.
It depends. Like, yeah,
like she's like, not, I'll use the word thrown, but like, she's like basically thrown girls out of the way so she can get to me like after the performance. Like, that's our thing.
So like our thing is like before, like when they hit the mat and come out, before they actually like they get all set and situated. I don't know when I started it, but we flex to each other.
Okay.
Which, it's our thing. She hits the mat, she looks for me, we flex at each other, and the music starts. It's like just our thing to be like, hey,
right,
be strong.
I mean, there's some parents in cheer, and this is their thing, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just giving examples. Hey, make sure you're the first person on the mat. Well, what good does that do? Because
it's a team sport.
It's a team sport, right? Like, literally doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, some people got to be the line leader.
But there's not a line leader.
Correct.
And then, maybe the girls in the beginning of a cadence, or not a cadence. I don't know why I said sideline.
Yeah.
That yell the ready. Okay, cool. But they're still all counting in their head.
Correct.
Every single one of them are counting on a constant basis.
During the whole routine.
Right.
Yes.
And you can see it.
Everything's a team effort. Like just with my son in baseball, when I coached, from T-ball until I think intermediates, I think is when I stopped coaching. And I coached with a good friend of ours, and we always kept it super chill, super fun. And even in like games, like they'd ask us, but coach, what's the score? I'm like, it's tied 0-0. They're like, no, we scored runs. Like, if we tell you what the score is and you guys are going to stop playing or thinking, you're up enough that you don't need to put any effort in, so why would we tell you the score? We're here to play baseball and be the best we can.
Right.
So always, and every game, what's the score? We're tied. 1-1, 3-3, 0-0. Didn't matter. We were always tied. It's just a mindset thing. Because all they care about is winning. I love the competitiveness, and I love kids that are competitive, but sometimes it can get a little crazy.
Right.
I
will say, so like when we go to competitions, I don't care where or what number. So if they're up against 7 teams, I don't care where they compete in those 7 teams.
Yep.
But I like them in the same block. because they do pay attention to that schedule. So if they do make it out to the viewing area, or let's just say there's 30 teams in that block, and they're sitting out watching 5 of the teams that they just gone up against, or they have to go up against, and they're the last in that block.
Yep.
I can't stand that. Like, stay in the team area. Why be in your own head?
Yeah.
And she's actually starting to get that. But at the same time, she wants to support all the teams. And that's another thing, like, about cheer. Like, yes, you know, this team's up against this team's up against that team, but they're not against this team. And, you know, varsity and JV and freshman or whatever, Class A, Class B, C. I've never seen a competition setting, tournament setting, where they actually all support each other. Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether they're up against each other or they're not. Especially if it's, oh, well, my friend goes to this school, so I want to be up right in front cheering her on. Doesn't matter that we're up against each other at that point. Like, so having been the lacrosse dad, and now being like the cheer dad, I don't even know how to describe it.
So, like, when my daughter she cheered high school and she cheered All Stars. In All Stars, you have kids from all the different districts.
Sure.
Right? So what I thought was really cool, and it was nice to see them all come together, no matter what team from what school was on stage, those girls from the All-Star gym would all be down there to cheer each other on.
Right.
And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It just showed you how much respect they had for each other, regardless of what differences they may have had from the last practice or, you know, the one before that. They were always there to support each other. So it's kind of cool to see that.
Oh, it is, definitely. 100%.
But, you know.
Now, like this year, varsity, I want to say, is graduating 7 seniors this year.
That's a lot.
And having been around for the last 7 or 8 years, you know, through Pop Warner and now high school, and watching all of these girls grow up, it's crazy.
It's nuts. It is nuts. Bonkers.
Right.
You'll tear up at the last one.
Oh, I'm sure.
I did. That was last year.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Then what am I going to do?
We're going to sit here on a Saturday night and talk about the past.
Right.
But, you know, it's been cool.
I mean, if it was warmer and you still had a vehicle that you may or may not have used to sit on and ride down the road.
I miss it, but I don't miss it because I never had time.
Well,
between work, sports, my little side hustle.
right.
Like, money's a huge motivator.
Well, to anybody, yeah.
But I never miss anything that is important. Like, if you want me there, I'll be there.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's some that I've missed because, you know, it was like maybe like a showcase or like, you know, a scrimmage game or something along those lines. But when it comes down to it, I'm there.
So luckily for me, my wife could care less about my bike. My kid, on the other hand, she wants to go all the time. So that's a good way for her to get out and, you know, just blast some music and
Clear the mind.
and just spend some time. Like, 9 times out of 10 we'll go out for 50, 100-mile hour, 100-mile ride. Stop for ice cream, stop to get something to eat, and then go home.
I still have all my gear.
I guess you'll have to start looking again.
It's definitely not off the table.
Perfect.
It's definitely not off the table. I probably have to wait until I pay off the most recent that I got. But,
Which truck are we talking about? The old one or the new one?
The older one.
Okay.
The SS. So once that goes away.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
no sense in strapping yourself, and I totally get that.
You know, it's getting better.
I don't think there's much more for.
I don't know. I didn't expect our first one to be this lengthy.
Yeah, I mean, here we are.
I wanted to come on and
about an hour and 20 minutes, roughly. Let's see what it says. Yeah, about an hour and 20.
That's where we're at.
Hour and 16, it says.
Left, or that's how long
No,
we've been going.
that's how long we've been going.
That's pretty good, considering I came into this nervous like I was going out on a first date. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we talked about this over the last 2 years.
A long time. We've talked about starting something like this, and
somebody made
between the friends that we have, with. And it's not just cheer. Like, we're not just going to talk about cheer.
No, not at all.
We have a friend that has a son that just set a national record. Like to have him come in and talk about that, because I'm not going to lie, I'm still awestruck about that record.
That's pretty incredible.
Right.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, like I couldn't do what he did
I did it for 15 years and couldn't do that.
I'm going to say, because I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, no. Not our story to tell.
It's really not. I couldn't do what he did in 4 times what he did it in. There's just...
It's a record that probably will last a very, very long time.
Yeah, but again, without giving too much away.
Correct.
It's going to be very difficult.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
But nothing for nothing. Like, he's 16.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time.
Right. But he's super dedicated to it.
He is. And the thing I like about that and the sport is you're always working at it. Like, nothing's guaranteed.
Well, because there's no way to make this particular sport 100% across the board. Like,
no.
There's no way to set the conditions.
Correct.
For what he did for every time you go out.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to adjust.
At the right times.
Right. At the right times.
Like,
it's a huge feat.
Usually you're not adjusting until it's happened.
Right.
So,
Yeah, can't wait to talk about that.
I can't wait to hear it, the whole thing.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Because I've only seen the videos.
Yeah, and I mean the couple of videos don't really do it justice.
No. I know it doesn't. I've been there. Not for that particular sequence of events.
Right.
But I've had my good ones.
Yeah, so
But not that early in age, which is astonishing.
What else I'm excited for is within the next couple of episodes, we got
we have more dads.
We do have more dads.
Dads involved in different sports.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Hear their side.
The wives.
The wives is going to be an interesting one.
It is.
They think we're crazy.
I don't think it's a they think. I think it's more of a they know.
Yeah. We come up with a lot of crazy ideas.
We do.
This one we followed through with.
Yeah.
Like, impulse followed through.
Right, and then you get...
Like, you just said, hey, I'm getting this.
Right.
And here we are.
Yeah.
What, 2 weeks later?
No, I ordered within the hour. Like, hey,
What about this one?
we're talking about doing this, and
Oh, that one looks cool. All right, I ordered it.
right.
Yeah. Spent a day figuring out all the buttons.
Yeah, which I mean, the setup that we're using, it's not terribly complicated. It's really not. Like,
We have a lot of dads that have some pretty spectacular children coming on here
yeah,
that are really setting some pretty high
got one out of Texas.
Texas.
Yeah,
We got the one guy too that don't have any kids, so we're gonna fill him on
Yeah.
all the good with the dad life.
yeah, I'm excited for that one too. Really good friend of mine from Florida. He doesn't have any children, and for whichever choice, it's his story to
Yeah.
bear. But I think what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna lambaste them with some questions that there's no answer for.
It will be interesting for sure.
Oh yeah,
It'll be interesting.
and he loves to talk too.
I'm glad we followed through with this though.
He loves his TikToks. He loves doing his TikTok lives.
He is very much in love with TikTok.
Yeah, he is.
Very much.
But I mean, that's how I met him. So, I'm just during COVID when there was like nothing to do. I'm like I'm watching my kid. She's 9-10 years old and lying saying that she's 18.
Yeah. Well,
they all did. And she's doing her little dances, and then she's sitting on the couch and she's just, giggling up a storm. I'm like, what are you doing? I watch a TikTok. I'm like, what is this TikTok all about? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to download it, check it out. So I'm scrolling through TikTok like 3 weeks later, and Mike and Missy are on a live. So I get watching them get BSing with them. And this was like one of their first times that they had been on. Then they get talking like, oh, I think we're going to do this like on a permanent basis, maybe a couple of times a week, which then turned into every night, which then turned into, well, now I'm a moderator, and now I'm kicking people out for being jackasses.
Don't ever kick me out.
No, you're part of it now. To then us BSing on the phone. And then one of the times that we went to Florida, they actually drove up because they're from Fort Myers.
Mm-hmm.
They drove up to Orlando to come and meet us all. So since COVID, like, we just developed a really, really, really good friendship.
That's cool.
To the point where just random BS text and, phone calls. Like last night when he was live.
You got a pen pal, Dave.
I did.
Remember those?
I got a TikTok COVID pen pal.
Nothing wrong with that. Do you write each other letters?
No, nothing.
That would be
mean,
pretty funny.
It would be funny. But yeah, no, he's good stuff, and he's more than upset that I started a podcast with somebody else and not him.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, he's heartbroken.
It's okay. He'll get over it.
Yeah, no, he's good stuff. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He was going to do the same thing. I don't know what happened to it because I guess Missy bought him all kind of shit too. So.
Oh, he cried and got.
No, like a while ago.
Oh.
Yeah, she probably did the same thing I did and said, "Oh, I'm just."
So he's
gonna
got
go on and
lonely microphones just hanging out somewhere.
Must be, yeah.
Still smell new.
They might.
Doesn't
right?
smell like your breath.
I mean,
Who
knows? They could smell like pizza for all I know.
It's possible.
But yeah, I think we're gonna. I think this was pretty fun.
Yeah, I think we got carried away a little,
We might have.
but we're just here to talk dad stuff.
Yeah,
Our kids, our experiences.
and
And,
anyone
I mean,
out there.
I still have plenty to tell you about me.
Oh, I mean, I didn't even crack the ice on myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone out there, they got any crazy kid stories or records or sports or anything like that? By all means, get right at us.
Oh, absolutely.
Get
We'll be
right
doing
at it.
we'll be doing call-ins.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, at
We
some point.
we definitely have call-in capabilities.
Still gotta get our social media going.
Yeah, working on. You did the Facebook page the other
I
day,
did.
right? Yeah,
I did.
Um,
Did we even tell them our name?
I did. Yeah,
You did?
yeah.
It's
Right,
been
right in the introduction of Daily Dad Chronicles.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I don't remember. We've been going at this for so long.
We have. But well, if you made it this long, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Thank you.
We'll be talking to you again soon.